I should have lost finals. Connor decided to play an N instead of Sycamore.
And you
And
into the God Hand.
he basically did this. Here's 10K.
Ah, oh, Connor, if you're watching, fucking got him. Oh shit.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone, to the #1 podcast, the #1 Pokemon podcast that is in the world, Faded Town. We got a special guest for you today, the supreme leader of TCG Hell, the Light of Truth, the troll across the pond, the 2016 World Champ, Jesper Eriksen. Welcome to the show.
What's up?
Yeah, we're doing a beer tasting.
Cheers,
All right,
man.
respect. There we go.
We only have Coors, but
Cheers.
we're gonna do it.
Hell yeah. So how's your day going, bud?
My beach house and hang out with my parents. Yeah, haven't been doing much.
Living the fucking good life, huh?
What's the weather out there? Is it nice?
Well, yeah, it's dry. It's like 18 degrees Celsius.
The
It's
water?
pretty.
For us
Nice.
Americans, what's that?
I didn't go
What's
to
that
the water.
conversion to Fahrenheit?
It's like
Kevin can't do that.
65, 70.
That's still pretty. That's
Isn't it?
That's not bad.
That's
not bad.
that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Fuck it. It's
There's no way. The water's probably
what's the
cold.
weather like here?
What's
We're in
It's like
we're
104
in sunny
or
Las
something.
Vegas. It is 11:37 a.m. and it's 83 degrees Fahrenheit.
Fuck me.
It's not bad. We're lucky.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I'd
95.
say it was 104.
Yeah, the forecast for the next 6 days is over 100 every day.
I don't
So welcome to summer in Las Vegas. Fuck this.
crash.
Yeah.
We're going to Denmark.
Anyway, so you were just at the beach house hanging out. Obviously,
Yeah.
you know, not focusing on any Pokemon, which is good.
Yeah.
Gotta.
He just announced he's not going to NAIC.
Oh,
For
Yeah,
set.
I'm not.
Okay, alright.
Unfortunately, neither of my parents were invited. I have regionals in Sweden next weekend.
Oh.
That shouldn't count for anything because even if I win, I'm not gonna get the top 22 stipend. So we're gonna take a chill, win $5,000, and then use them for Worlds.
All right, there you go.
We did $5,000. We're turning it around right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you, dude. I offered you coaching. I think it's on your
Oh my
head.
god!
think everything-
Oh.
You offered him coaching?
Yeah, yeah. It's not game coaching. It's more mindset.
Like,
I
okay,
think it's
yeah.
all in his head.
It's like the
No,
mind fuck.
I have Nico for mindset.
Dude, this guy-
So
This guy would go into
Nico goes
tournaments-
in,
No,
tries
go ahead,
to
go ahead.
coach me in mindset. Nico goes and tries to be coach your mindset. He goes like, dude, stop saying it's being unlucky. You're making mistakes all the time. I'm like, what the fuck?
See, he's on the right path. But like, dude, I got you. If you really want to have that, I'm gonna win this tournament
Mind
mindset.
fuck, like you're N
Yeah.
and you just tell your opponent, well, you gotta miss this, and this. You're gonna miss. You're just gonna fucking
I used
miss
to
it.
do
You're just
that
gonna miss
all
it.
the time.
Such
I
a-
actually had that as a strategy at some point, but once I called, you're fucking gonna miss your DC. He's like, I got it. I'm like, fuck the shit. I'm not gonna do
Yeah,
it
fuck
anymore.
Kevin see me do it. I'm like, it'd be like my worst matchup. I'll be like, all right, you just have to miss, dude. Miss your Garbodor, and I win. And they would miss.
Yeah, you gotta miss an energy, Garbodor, or Floatstone, and I win. That's it. That's as simple as that. Like, you better hit that or it's game. And he's like, you just see the guy like look at Zach like, bro, I fucking hate you. Oh shit. All right, so
But you can call yourself Truth of Light once you say like your opponent didn't hit and didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, you're the light.
did
Of,
light-
you're
did light
the
of
light of
truth.
truth. Yeah, you're the light of truth. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Now that my #1 competition at NAIC is not coming, like
Yeah,
it should be easy.
He's your #1
should be
competition.
easy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh,
Well,
shit.
we're gonna make limitless fucking squash sack or scoop.
I'm not even going, dude. I'm not even going. So anybody that beats
So it's-
Zach, that's that's squashing sector scoop. So yeah, that's it. Whoop de doo. Anyway, let's hear about yourself. You know, what do you do outside of Pokemon?
So, well, I go to school.
What
do-
you're
it's
in grade
in-
school. You're in grade school still, right?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Grade school, high school,
I'm-
high school, fucking not.
It's my
not post-
11th year in schooling.
Okay,
He's
11th
in
So-
year.
so- yeah, America
11th
is
year-
the junior.
That's
high
it's
school.
technically 11th. Okay, are you junior in high school? You got one more year left until you
Right.
graduate.
I have 2 more years to graduate this
Okay,
school.
so
Our schooling system is different. So we have our primary school, which is the first 10 years. Then I had a optional year at a sports academy last year.
right.
And then I have my first grade of the place where I go now, where I have 3 years. And then I don't know what to do afterwards. I go to university after that. I could just take a education after that.
Okay.
Is it like you can just go to university free, right? That's how that works out there.
Everything's free, but the books.
Fucking
But
awesome.
see?
Dude,
Welcome.
oh my fucking god.
Gotta pay the bills some way.
Hey Zach, why you look so down, bud?
Man, I opened all these packs, and every pack had this piece of garbage at the back of it. I don't even play online. What am I gonna do with this?
Dude, you didn't hear?
No, what?
You could turn those codes into cash.
How?
There's this new
You're
app.
talk-
Yes, I'm telling you, you can turn
No.
those codes into cash.
How?
There's this new app called Poke Awesome Code Catcher. You download it, you put in the code, turn it into cash within 24 hours.
That sounds made up, man. You're telling me I can take these garbage codes that come in every pack and get cash for them?
That's what I'm saying.
No way.
Or you can turn it into some sealed product. I know you like the cards.
How? Who's doing that?
Just go to pokeawesome.com and check it out.
That's insane. That's awesome.
No, Zach. That's Poke Awesome.
Support the podcast.
I'm
my
like,
God.
I'm sitting here with college debt. And
Yeah, you're gonna sit with college debt for
ever?
probably forever, right? And
I got
like everybody sits with debt for the rest of their life at some like in some way. Someone has to pay for a house.
That's true.
But the good thing is that we don't have to sit in debt for education.
Yeah.
Well, I might choose to be a pilot. Yes, then I have to pay for education, but it only takes like 10 years to pay off. If I have to pay, that's like 90K
yeah.
US.
Luckily, I don't.
Yeah.
My debt's not crippling. So,
Mine's not
Yeah.
crippling either, but I like to get some sympathy out there, you know?
for the
Yeah.
We need
for
it.
the other 90% of
Of people that
of
are really
our
fucked.
generation, yeah, they're all fucked. They're all fucked.
Yeah.
Bernie
Mine's
2020, please.
yeah.
Bernie, come on,
Shit.
guys.
Oh my gosh.
You
yeah.
need him.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Who fucking knows?
Probably
Who
not.
fucking
I don't know.
knows?
not. Whoever wants to get rid of my
Yeah,
student debt,
right?
I'll vote for him.
Oh jeez.
He'd definitely been on that.
So you said you were going to the sports academy. So you still play soccer? I know that's
Yeah, like I had a lot of issues. So I played in the sports academy. It took me 3 weeks to get my ankle sprained at first.
Oh, shit.
So with the first regionals last season, I went around with one shoe and then one flip flop, and then it looked super stupid. So yeah, it took me 3 weeks to get my ankle sprained there, but then I've been like halfly injured all season. I had shin splints, and I have to permanently now actually because kept playing games on it. And then in the semifinals of the national championships in soccer for soccer academies, I had a duel where I was up catching the ball, and then some guy ran under me, so I twisted in the air, landed on my shoulder, and almost tore up the whole
Holy
thing.
Shit.
So meanwhile, I was hospitalized with mono.
Yeah.
I had that
Oh,
too.
I remember that.
Yeah. So I had that too, and then I've just recently come back to like goalkeeping again and doing better
Okay.
at least.
All right. Well,
I was about to say, I'm like, you're playing football, you're not supposed to use your hands. But
goalies
okay. I guess
can
you're a
use their
goalie.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a goalie. I was like,
Well, shit. I'm sure
I
Zach can
hate
sympathize with you. He knows all about sports injury.
yeah, that's just, yeah. I played baseball my whole life. Dislocated both my knees my junior year. Yeah,
Oh.
How'd you tell
rough.
everyone how you dislocated?
on a
Tell them how you
trampoline.
dislocated it though.
That I should
Yeah,
have
on a
done.
trampoline.
Yeah, I went to like this jumpy place.
This jumpy place.
and, like did a backflip and just both knees just floomp.
Oh.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was like the worst pain I've ever had in my life. I screamed like a little girl. Yeah. My dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing on a trampoline?" It's just so bad.
And your kneecaps are just turning once you're like,
Yeah, dude. It got to like I had to sit there with them both dislocated for like an hour. Like so, like basically I got numb to the pain, and then I like got to the point I'm like my kneecaps on like the side of my leg, and I'm like I wonder if I can move my foot. Like I just like start moving my foot. I'm like, it still works, but it's like up by my head. It's fucking bad.
Oh my god, that's so fucking bad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what's your plan after this education? You plan on going to college or what? Or university?
So I have an offer where I can live in Iceland. Yeah, it's called in Iceland for 3 years and take a pilot education, and then have a guaranteed job at Norwegian.
Nice.
Not sure whatever I would do there. It's something that I've talked about, but I don't know what I would do afterwards. If I become professional Pokemon, sure, I have to get a lot better by then. But hopefully.
Well, I mean, you were the world champ at one point in time, so I've got faith that you can.
In senior.
That doesn't matter. That
seniors.
doesn't matter. You've been. I mean, it matters. Yeah. There's different caliber. But you've been to the promised land.
But
you can get back.
Yeah.
You can get back.
And I think I'm also the only one receiving the trophy. And then everybody after I got my ovation, I was like, "Fuck it, I want more!" And I just screamed, and they were like, "Yeah!" Everyone. I was like, "Yo, you gotta give me a bigger applause than that."
You said that like live?
I just
No,
was like.
No, that was what I was thinking. Because I was like holding up the trophy, and they were like calming down, they were like stopping to clap, and I was like, "What the fuck? Hey!"
Nice. Hell yeah.
That's hilarious.
It could be watched back on Twitch. So yeah.
I'm gonna pull that shit up.
I'll have to. But so you're thinking pilot. Well, you said like professional Pokemon. Let's get into that.
Professional Pokemon's my first priority.
Is that a thing?
Impossible.
Is that a thing? Like really?
It's combined by doing well at tournaments / having a high enough coaching rate to actually live from it.
Okay.
So if I have my current coaching rate and I work 38 hours a week, yes, I have a real job.
Okay. All right.
But with what I do now of coaching, I do just like a couple hours a week, perhaps. Then I'm not sure.
So how many clients do you have? How many people do you have coaching or that you coach?
So I choose to have 2 regularly, and then I have someone who switches in and out. I'll send you a link for the Twitch clip, by the way. And then I have a couple of people coming in and out if they want an hour here or so before a big tournament. But then I have some people that I actually do go down with, and I do keep tab with the tournaments, and then look at their matches and be like, gotta do this better. And then I have them once or twice a week for sessions where we go through for a format and make them better at the deck they like.
Nice. Okay. All right. Bitching.
All right.
Well, that's.
I like because we've talked to a few top players, and that's all they do is Pokemon. And I like in my head, I'm like, this coaching thing's gotta be like.
The coaching thing is there's a big. I want to build my coaching on that. I get more personal with the people that I coach, because otherwise it just feels super over the edge, like that I don't get down to it and I don't learn them stuff properly, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So what my coaching is that I had a guy who was a junior last year. He's a senior now. I had it for 2 weeks before I got hospitalized, and then he turned up, played Bus Rocket Worlds, and got top 4.
Oh. Dope.
So already by that, I take in the people that I see potential in, and where I can actually work and try to like form their future.
Got you. That's good.
And that's what I feel I've done. In this case specifically, he's already guaranteed a Day 2 invite for Worlds as well, so we're doing really good.
Nice.
That's
so,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. You have to feel accomplished, right? Like when
I feel like whatever he does is like almost mine, but
Yeah.
I don't take a lot of pride in it because it's got to be
Right.
his,
Yeah.
right?
No. It's
Yeah.
definitely him, but
it just feels good.
You're
to
feeling
watch
that.
someone.
Just
Yeah.
knowing that your coaching is seeing results. Like that's you could take pride in that. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And the best thing is saying that when the kid goes over and says like, without you, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Like they actually say that, I'm like, thank you, man.
All
And then do you feel your job is doing something for you, and that's something I really like as well, and also believe that for my case I should just be doing juniors and seniors as much as I can, because that's where I have the most experience and that's where I've been really successful myself.
Right.
And I know the difficulty that they might be going through, and I've had it more recently than perhaps like let's say Zach Lesage.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever played in the juniors division actually, so he doesn't know like what's going on there and how you might feel as a younger player where I'm only 17. Like I know how I felt back then.
Right.
Yeah, I think that is a big X factor, because like if I did coach or whatever, like yeah, you're right. I have no clue how a younger mind looks at the game.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I watch them play and I'm like, oh, they play well. Like, but I only see the people at the top because that's the only thing that ever gets streamed
right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I feel like they play just as well as other people, but I don't know their mindset.
Like
So
being
that
being a
makes lot of
child
sense.
and not having certain X factors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean, for you, like,
Yeah.
what's your experience? Being at that highest stage, like, what goes through your mind when you're there? Like,
what's the
as
difference?
as a
between
younger
them?
player.
So for my case, I think I was like more mentally prepared for top cuts than other people were. I remember clearly more like my top 8 at Worlds in 2015 gave me a lot of a lot. I learned a lot from that because it just made me better at playing the top cut games and be like more patient and
Okay.
perhaps playing more optimally. Back then I played against the auto loss. I played Toad Miniature Bats versus Mega Miniature Keldeo. So what he had was Keldeo, which could just switch in. So if I flipped heads on lasers, which I did a lot, the sleep wouldn't
Right.
stick.
Yeah.
Sleep wouldn't stick at all. Poison wouldn't stick either, which was a big X factor in my deck at the time, where I could Toad, Quake and Punch, spread a lot of bats, and hopefully they stick for one turn.
Yeah.
One turn's enough for me to go up, and then shot it with Venetric afterwards. I couldn't do that. So I lost back when I lost that game. I was like, "What's next year?" My goal was to get top 4. Top 4. That's everything you want. Because when you're sitting in a top 8 game and you lose, you're not satisfied with performance because you don't get a trophy, you don't get the last 4 sets, you don't get the extra money on top, and you
That's
don't get a
true.
trophy. Like you don't get a trophy. Like the biggest thing is a trophy.
Yeah.
You want to get a world's trophy.
That's
Yeah, I don't have any trophies in my
a
room.
regional
but
trophy.
It doesn't matter. It's top
I don't
four.
have-
And
I
know
don't
how
have
you
any
feel.
trophies, so
I have
you're
one.
good.
I have
You're
one
good.
of
You're still good.
I've never got top 8, so I don't know how
Yeah.
that feels.
So, when I got into 2016 Worlds, of course, you're better if you've been in the position before. And then when I sit into 2016 Worlds, I was like plowing through these seniors, and I was like, "Yo, my Omega's gonna pump you up." And like,
dude, that
honestly.
deck is still hype. I fucking love it. I love
the
it.
deck was hyped to play. It was super fun to play, but holy fuck, it was shit.
What, the Yen Mega?
Oh.
Yen Mega? Even
Yeah.
with fucking with Vespaquin?
Yeah, dude, listen. I won a game versus Darkrai with Fighting Field Belts, Yveltal, of course, and I managed to beat that
Hex.
somehow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So, the Omega Vespercoin lost to Item Lock if you didn't go first. It lost to Trevenant 100%, and I even beat that until 4. I don't know how. I lost to Plume decks if I went second. I lost to Toad decks if they know how to play the game. I play against Toad in finals, so you might see how that went.
yeah, shit.
I should have lost finals. Connor decided to play an N instead of Sycamore.
And you
Yeah.
into the God Hand?
He basically did this. Here's 10K.
Ah. Oh, Connor, if you're watching, fucking got him. Oh shit.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
I already used the money. Fuck.
I already used the money. Damn, 10K. Well, that was a few years ago, so
I have $1,000 left on my account for that.
Yeah, that's not bad, bro. That's 2016, 3 years, 10K. That's actually pretty good.
3 years, 24K.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wait. Oh yeah, 24K. That's right. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Well, maybe that's not as good.
Well, I had to pay the academy boarding school thing, so that was at least 10K out of my pocket. Then I had to pay Pokemon trips and whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't get any stipends last year. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true. Well,
But anyways, like for the coaching fact, I've been in positions before. I know how they feel when they play and how they are like, I want to win now and want to win as fast as possible. But they have to learn that they have to be patient and they have to, when they're in a winning position, not go plow through their opponent, but they have to make it into a certain way where they think like, okay, I probably have this game set up to win. Let's make sure that my opponent can't snap it.
okay.
And that's what most juniors and seniors they don't understand, or they just simply need help with the matchups because they can't see them through it. It's a lot of the coaching I do because when I'm up to date with the players, then they're like, "How do I do this match?" And I'm like, "Let me tell you about that." And then they're like, "Okay, that's actually really good. It works."
Right.
And then when they're like, "Yo, how to win against this?" I'm like, you don't win against that. Like, you don't win against
You know, this is auto
if you win
loss.
against it,
Like understanding
auto
auto
loss.
losses. Yeah.
And then when they're like, what do you change to the deck? You don't change anything.
You just don't win.
And they're like, and they, like the juniors just go like, what? And I'm like, yo, if you want to change it, you have to change 30 cards to your deck, so you can't do that.
Right.
It's not like you're changing 1 or 2 cards, but you're changing too many cards and you have to cut consistency.
Right.
And they have to learn that if you set up your deck every time, you probably win the most of the games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not teaching them to go for a tournament win all the time. I'm teaching them to get the highest finish that they possibly can. Because if you just go for winning every tournament, they're also always playing Charizard. And I don't want that to happen.
Hey,
I want to give them the deck that has the best matchups against most of the metas possible, and that has possibility where I can outplay their opponent to a certain extent.
Okay.
And that's where I have to sit and teach them how to outplay your opponent in certain positions.
So with this coaching and that mindset, you know, you being where you're at, how does this apply to the Masters division? Like for just specifically for you.
So for my Masters division coaching, I of course know a lot about the Masters division as well. I've been on top. I still think I'm one of the top players still.
Yeah.
I think
you got your Worlds invite already, correct?
Yeah.
It's Europe, so.
Yeah, I guess you're. Oh, good point.
In Europe, it's best like this, but like, I've already my first year Masters. I was second in the world at some. I was only first in the world at some point, middle of the season now, or towards the end actually, and I showed my true level. I think this year it's a combination of the formats not being assorted to my playstyle. My playstyle was good with decks like Darkrai, which means you set up your board, and no matter what your opponent did, you're gonna set up the same way still.
Right.
Yeah.
And then some matchups you have to go to some other ways, but not like in this format where you're like, okay, playing that Pikachu. If you're priced with Coco, whoops, fuck, you're off. I don't like those formats a lot, and that's why I probably didn't do well this season either. The decks that have been here haven't been that consistent. I started off with Sorok towards the start of the season. That didn't go that well. I've been playing some V-Career Cups that didn't go well either, to be honest. And then once I actually found a deck I want to play, new set drops. And then I'm like, oh, shit. And then at OCIC with the international being the new set, my Pikachu list was perhaps a bit suboptimal. Didn't have enough testing for that. And I think, I know Nico wouldn't like me to say this, but I think I've been on the unlucky side of things. Multiple times this season. I was down paired in Brazil for my tie-in in for my day 2. Well, I would have gotten a stipend for OCIC.
Oof.
Got down paired, bricked twice. I was about to get the tie in the back, but then my opponent top decked DC off his last trade. So that situation sticks in my mind, and the fact that I've been twice during the season been hospitalized. The one was optional though, where I had to get surgery on my ear.
Yeah.
And the other one being a mono. I think it's handicapped my season to a point where I wasn't really in the right mind to actually play Pokemon top level, and therefore it's fair that I didn't get my day 2 invite this season. But even though I haven't been playing up to my optimal level, I'm at around 600 CP. So I think if you take that into comparison with me been playing at a higher level, I think that I could easily have been day 2 in the season had I not been starting the season off with mono.
Yeah.
I think it's a big part of my season.
You got 600 CP. You're already in. You're already in Worlds for United States. So that's
He's fine.
pretty good. I
Like,
think you're gonna be all right.
Yeah, I think you're tough on yourself, and I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I know I'm tough myself, but I think it's something that you are when you try the stuff that I have. Of course,
Yeah.
this season been total bullshit with some stuff, and then it's just being my own fault, and then me not being able to play probably when I get tired, which I do easily now because of all the stuff, and I'm still building myself up to be more concentrated and be better mentally.
Right,
but
right.
Yeah.
when I also tried like the other side where I was just rolling through a tournament, I was like, dude, I played this shit deck, but I'm outplaying my opponent and I'm playing so well. And then you flip the coin, you're like sitting in now in 2019, you're like, I have to get better. The competition is actually heading up to me. I should be on the level of a Soul Jimmy, but I'm like way down there. So it's something that you have to learn from, and it's something you have to fight through, so you don't think you're like on the top while you're like down at the standard player level.
You're right.
Well, I think this Worlds is gonna change you for you. I got faith. You gotta. It's time to prove yourself.
All right. Speaking about Worlds, how do you feel about the format?
I feel great.
Yeah.
I have a lot of time to put in, unless I get stuff. I can.
Right.
I can, or it's called knock on wood in English. 7, 9, 13 in Danish.
7, 9, 13. We're using that.
Yeah, and you have to throw like a spoon of salt over your left shoulder and stuff like that. But to keep that out of check there. The Worlds here is gonna be make it or break it for me. It's gonna really decide how I play next season, if I'm motivated to play, because the format we have at Worlds, so it's gonna be the same form for the first quarter. So it's gonna decide a lot for me next season if I pull back and I'm like gonna focus on myself a bit more, or if I go full hand on Pokemon and then maybe put the school a bit to the side, like I halfly did the season with the hospitalizations. But I think that Worlds, I have time to test, and if I put my testing time in right, I think I can go through day 1, and then day 2 is also going to be, it's going to be a flip of a coin day 2, because there's going to be so many good players, and if I hit a Soul, then Jimmy, and then Robin, and then Philip, like, you're just going to sit and be like, whoever draws the best wins, because both players on both sides of the table are going to play optimally.
Right. Agreed. Like, I think, I personally think it's more of an even playing field with the new format rotating into Worlds, where you don't have, like, everyone's pretty much gonna have the cards at the same time, gonna know, all right, this is how much time we had to test with it. Sure, Japan has the cards a little early, but the format's so much different, like the rotation. So like,
it's actually not a lot different. Actually,
not
they only
now.
get.
No.
Before they played expanded, this week's nationals, actually Reshisard won that nationals this weekend.
Reshisard abilities.
And they basically had the format we have right now up to Unbroken Bonds plus an extra free Japanese sets.
Yeah.
So some of the Japanese cards that we're playing with this weekend is not going to be out for Worlds. But then I feel it's okay for Japanese players to have the cards, because they kind of are guinea pigs when it comes to the format.
Right.
I agree.
Like, if something is totally out of control, they catch in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is great. Which we haven't seen for a long time, because they didn't even catch fucking Trump card.
I agree. Like, I think
it's
Japan plays a lot different than anyone
Japan
else.
is a lot different, because they had in Japan expanded, you can have the combo with Surge Delinquent.
Yeah.
They actually had that combo. David, who lives in Japan right now, studying, he was at a tournament where he saw it live. He just saw an opponent get crippled by Surge double Delinquent. He was like,
yeah, what do you do?
What are you doing against that shit?
That's disgusting. And I'm glad Pokemon's more listening to the community, because like we fought that like online forever, where it's just like, dude, look at this. This cannot happen. Like, we cannot have a turn 1 0 cards and go. Like,
yeah,
you can't
and
have that.
Shift Tree got banned as well.
Right
away.
Because you had the option to win on turn 1 without your opponent interacting. I think Pokemon, when they do the bans, they're like, you want the opponent to be able to interact, because in the case of unknown damage, your opponent couldn't actually interact if you drew the right card.
Right.
Yeah. Weird.
And Force of Giant Plains, your opponent couldn't interact because you got Plume turn 1.
Yeah.
With Wally, you could get Trevenant turn 1 and you can't interact. So it's like you're flipping like this, and you're like, okay, we have to make a format that's being able to play, and format's still exciting for the players.
Yeah.
But then they put this one back a bit because the format sucks.
Oh, I mean, shit, you have Marshadow running everywhere. It's almost to the point where it's like, okay, if you get Marshadow turn 1, your opponent can't react or interact. But I mean, you still have a chance, right? There's like a small chance, but still, like, how many times have you seen that Marshadow that let loose turn 1, and it's like, okay, I win because I just let loose you.
Yeah, but that's why I play Pika. I want to play Pika Static at my tournaments, because now I have electromagnetic radars. I can easily draw Or
Dedenne.
not easily, but I can easy your draw out of my
Right,
let
and
looses.
even see the Dedenne and stuff like that. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
of course, like now, but even just before, like seeing that, and
yeah,
and
when you could lose to Blacephalon with every deck because they just went like attach, Marshall,
Exactly.
hee hee, I win.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
I like
It-
like we talk about that all the time where like I'll get in an argument with someone online on why like this matchup is good for this deck, and then their response is, "Well, I let loose and I win." I'm like, I'm done. Like I don't want to talk to you. Like
what do you
beat
say that?
everyone
Yeah, what do you
that
say
way.
that? That's you
Like,
fucking beat.
why
beat any
haven't
deck.
why haven't you 9-0'd?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
haven't you
right.
9-0'd
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm like, I come up with this like thought-provoking, like this is why I think this matchup beats this matchup, and then your response is let loose, and like I don't want, like we can't talk anymore. Like we can't even be friends.
We can't
Like
even-
I don't even know who you are.
I don't like you. Yeah,
Like, I'm done.
Go fuck yourself.
God.
Like that's what you said. All right, blocked you. Move on with my life because, like we can't have a real conversation,
Fucking let loose.
You're the best dude on Twitter.
right?
So
Like,
have
done.
you taken a look at the new set at all?
I have
Okay.
not. I have exams until the 26th, and then from there I'll start.
Yeah.
But if to me right now from the cards I heard, it looks
Yeah,
okay.
like nothing.
Right. We
Looks
get
so. It,
one ball
look-
search.
Yeah,
that
like
gets
you're getting a
GX. I think
another GX.
That's enough for me to say like we're okay.
it's not something super rolly OP, and I think on the other side it's the format's going to be okay. We don't have reset stam and sword together at least,
Right.
so
That's good.
I
That's
agree.
good.
I've got
yeah.
faith. I have faith in the
Yeah.
format, but you don't have that many pull-up cards, and I think it's actually healthy that we don't have Guzma. Guzma's bullshit.
Yeah, Guzman's been a little bullshit.
Lysander would be an okay card, actually.
I agree.
Um,
I agree with that.
it would have been like the 2014, but then you still need a Pokemon to be able to search it out.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Galdrachi. Yeah, you have to have a fragile 90 to 100 HP GX, search it out. But then you have like the other way where you just target it right back if they need to. And I don't like the fact that if you draw the custom catcher at the right time, just
Yeah, I played the greens version lately, and like custom culture is just crazy. Like if you just hit it naturally without like green searching for them both, you're just like the plays
Yeah.
you can make. You're like I'm a
Oh
god.
my god. Oh my god.
imagine in Worlds format where your opponent goes, I can reset stamp you down to 2 cards, and then I have the game in 2 turns where I just take a knockout. Now next turn your opponent goes like, oh, custom catcher, fuck you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you can't Guzma out of it. Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
I like the fact that there's no Guzma and we can sort of use like poison.
Status conditions, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that too, and then it'd be more effective if your opponent had to play more better decks to prevail, and that those status conditions.
Like I think Muck
It's like
is a little better now.
yeah, and Muck GX, Muck
Yeah.
GX also.
That's true. Yeah.
The old one. But looking at it,
I thought
actually,
we lose that. It was in Burning Shadows, right? Mach GX.
F.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah,
you might be
yeah.
right. Who
So
knows?
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You might be right,
Pretty
but,
sure we lose that too.
Muck is fine.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
This is better.
but you get
Muck.
the point, right?
Yeah.
Like
No, I mean,
Right.
yeah, I get the point. No, it's Worlds format's going to be interesting at the least.
Yeah.
So
So I want to switch. Let's get like because you basically started Pokemon Hell. That was a thing, or you're just a
actually, if
Got
you get
into
the
that?
story behind it, I was in Team C way before I got into Limitless. Team C's group of friends, like probably your Saga group is now, and
Yeah.
it wasn't that really. It was a bunch of seniors from the US and then me, who were like, yo, we're the best seniors and we're just gonna make a group and then win against everybody else. I think we did an overtake of PGGL from Eric Gansman, actually, I think it was. Or
Okay.
someone stole his phone in regionals and then made someone admin kicked Eric, and then we're like, yo, dude, we're taking it over, and we had it ever
oh my
since.
God.
That's
I think
You
it was
just-
something like
you just
that.
kicked out the old admin. And you're like, oh, this is ours now. Well,
And
Yeah,
like,
we overtook the group, and now I've been more controlling. I've sort of stepped into the shadows of hell.
Shadows.
Now-
like for people who don't know Pokemon Hell, can you like explain like what kind of group it is? Because
God, there's one word to describe it really well, and that's hell.
Yeah.
If you're really if you're a faithful Christian, don't get in there. And if you are a child, don't get in there. If you are a mother who don't want to see shit from Pokemon
Oh my
TCG
God.
and don't want to see
Don't go.
witch hunting,
Don't go in
don't
there.
want to see, we don't have that
Basically,
fret.
if you
That
take
fret's that's
K-Pop and there's no rules, right?
hey fun without rules, and
Without
then
any rules, like
and
do
then
whatever
me-
the fuck you want.
and then the admins could be super Hitlers and be like, yo, I don't like that, ban.
Yeah, you banned
Yeah,
me. I
yeah.
know.
Let's bring that up. Yeah, so Zach was banned. What'd you say, Zach?
Yeah, I had the funniest joke ever, and then it was about Chum. It was
What was
hella
that about?
funny. It had hella likes. People are liking it, and then Chum hits up Jesper. Is like, "Hey, ban that fucker."
He's like, oh, okay.
I was like,
Ban. Got your ass.
like Jesper,
Jumps my bro.
does whatever
Who's-
fucking Chum says now. All right, makes sense.
Yo, like how does Chum gets his girls and he's like, yo, I got money, and like in my case it's like,
Oh,
yo, I got money. Woo!
Wow. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah.
When he's gonna listen to this, I'm just gonna get a PM. Jesper.
Oh my God, that's funny. You gotta ban this fucker.
Ban-
It's like
ban
You got
yourself.
ban. It's
Okay.
same team. Ban me. Oh, okay, you got it. Oh my God. So how long?
But-
how long
but-
have you been running PCTG? What is it? No, just Pokemon Hell now.
PTCG
The
hell.
PTCG Hell. Oh, okay. How long have you been running it?
I'm only an admin.
You're just
but
an
I've-
admin? Okay, okay.
Myself, I've taken the responsibility of a lot of stuff happening there. But then we were discussing on our group, but I've been a pro how do you call it? Self-pronounced leader of hell. That's what I call it.
That's,
I've been
that's
that
pretty
for the
much.
past
That's pretty
year.
much what Satan did, right? He's just like, I'm the fucking leader of hell now. So that's you. You're just fucking Satan. Good to know.
Well, yeah. I'm technically a Christian, so I won't call myself a Satan,
Okay.
but
All right, there you go.
I'm a bit close to it on
Oh,
hell. But I
shit.
think that stepping into Shadow of Hell has been making my image in the community a lot better, and perhaps that I've been more bearing over people, and I'm actually being better to respond at people's perhaps maybe lesser intelligent questions. Where I would usually just go RTFC and been like, and now I would be like, maybe posting a Google link or posting a PokeGym link, or maybe actually just explaining the ruling myself.
Well, that's good. Cause like,
So I'm a better person now, but
that's what I was thinking. I'm
it
like,
doesn't mean that sometimes I get really pissed when someone asks a really stupid question. I'm like, whew.
Link.
No, yeah. Instead of you're a
of, like,
fucking idiot.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
let me Google that for you.
Right? Like, cause yeah, like that's how Chum and everyone we met you. Is basically you just trolled the shit out of people and people noticed.
Right.
We're like,
Yeah.
all right, this kid's funny.
Besides
also-
besides the fact that you were doing well in the seniors division.
Yeah, at that point, it was actually funny because in Burbank I was trolling back then because I wasn't
Yes.
really the PGL wasn't that platform as it is, but I was trolling back then. And I was like, 450 likes and I'll call my deck Night Striker if I get top 4 worlds. Yo, what's up? 4 weeks later, I win worlds, and I call my deck Bebe deck.
Even though you said you're gonna call it Night
called-
Striker.
I should have called Night Striker, but I had to deal with the guy. I made it was not my deck. Yeah, Mega was not my deck. I had to deal with the dude who gave me the deck. He was like, call it Bebe deck if you get top 4 or win. I'm like, yep, you got it.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you.
Oh shit.
He was like, the
Hilarious.
deck loses Trevenant. I'm like, yo, fuck Trevenant.
We're not gonna see
we're
it. We're not
dodging.
gonna see it. Oh my god.
We're like, yo. I met this at the Worlds. I lost to Trevenant. That was my only loss in Swiss in round 3. And then in top 4, I met the same dude. I was just like, I never think a guy has sat down at the Worlds table and been like, I don't want to fucking play. Like, I sat down at a table. I was like,
Get me out of here.
yo. He flipped the coin, and he was like, the judges laughed at me when he won the coin flip. I was like, yo, should we get out of here? And then I dumped his ass. He was like, volley Trevenant pass. I was like, yeah, make it without items and go on him.
God.
And
God.
second game, he prized head ringers. I go Shaman Loop.
Yep. Yeah,
Busted.
funny.
That's fucking hilarious.
I remember the shit.
That's fucking hilarious.
I remember like People are like, hey, that's how you beat
Yeah,
Trevor. Easy
yeah,
peasy.
Shame and loop.
What you gonna do? You got to
Yeah,
end?
and-
No, I won.
And then I top deck. I counted like 4 or 5 times. I top deck Sycamore out of my deck at Worlds Finals where I had nothing to do. Top deck Sycamore. So, I think we need a card like Sycamore in full art so I can always draw it.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, you got Lily, right? That counts? Does that count?
Does that count?
No, that doesn't count.
Do
That
not
doesn't count.
care.
Lily doesn't
I
count.
hate that
Lily
card
doesn't
so
count.
much.
These lilies, man, they don't count
No,
for that.
no.
They're not discarding your
Oh,
hand.
you need the fucking
They're not doing
good. You need
anything.
the good
Those
lilies.
cards are trash.
Next time we get a supporter like that, I'm gonna buy 4 full arts. I'm not gonna like use any else.
That's so fucking funny.
But
Like-
maybe that's why I actually played well in those formats because I had Sycamore in my deck that were full art and End that were full art. I was like,
That's all.
yo.
You're stacking yourself. You're
Dude,
fucking
I miss
stacking
those days so
yourself.
much.
Pretty
No,
much
no,
it.
because if you ask a Soul or Jimmy or Pram or people like that, they're like support like full arts they stack, and I was like, yo, full arts.
Yeah. No, they do.
But full arts,
do.
they do stick to each other.
They do. They fucking.
I don't think so. I think that's a myth. I don't care what anyone says.
It's probably a myth, but I'm like it's probably superstition from my point that I've been
Right.
playing full arts for that long, but I decided to switch over to non-full arts because I don't want to use the money on it.
Hey. that's-
Superstitions for kids, and I'm like,
Ooh,
What do you got-
What do you mean?
Hold
Don't
on.
you have fucking sponsorship? Can't you just fucking just be like, hey, give me these cards?
I can tell you I have 22 euros on my card market account. That's
Don't-
not enough to buy you 4 little. It's not enough.
Yeah, not with that shit's fucking. Oh, how many euros are they?
It was 22 euros.
No, but how many euros are the lilies?
Oh, I think they're 22 per piece actually.
22 a piece. Okay.
Give me a second. I'm actually
let's-
on card market right now.
Which one would you prefer though? The hat lily or the ponytail lily? Zach prefers the
So the lily-
Zach prefers the ponytail lily, for multiple reasons.
So let's see. Okay, if we're looking at the hat lily, it's 18 euros.
Okay.
That's
If you go to
that's not
the
bad.
other lily, version 2,
Fucking 50,
Oh, okay, I
50
prefer
euro,
the-
at
I
least
pref-
50
I-
euros.
it's 30 to 40. I
Okay.
think it's around 40, but it's like French, Italian, Spanish.
Okay.
But I don't like the ponytail one. But that's looked like
Rude.
some kinky Japanese stuff there. It's on the edge of hentai, man. Yo.
Ah, Zach.
I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest.
I would like the hat one better.
Yeah.
But I don't like the car. I don't like the art. I really like Juniper more.
Yeah.
And
well,
I
of
think-
course you can't
And
replace that fucking card.
Colress.
Yeah, Colress
and
is
Colress are my
dope. Colress is dope.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, the supporters
Yeah.
were so good.
Yeah. Well, we got fucking Kukui and Lily.
This is better.
Either way, so what's we'll move on. We'll kind of close it up. So what's your
Yeah.
plans for next season? You know, obviously you were saying it's all predicated upon your finish at Worlds, but what like
So
just
you
say
do
yeah,
well
say you do
at
well at
Worlds.
Worlds. Like
You're going
what are you
full
looking forward to with the next season?
Hopefully that European regionals are more. There are more of them, and that they're in better places and they're easy to get to.
Okay.
This season they've been a bit expensive, and also been traveling to U.S. regionals, which I want to avoid next season. But my parents get invited to 1 or 2, so I go with them, of course.
Okay.
Also, I want to expand my coaching business. I want to be able to reach out for more players, especially in my holidays I have. I want to pick up 1 or 2 extra players I coach every day, so I learn as many as possible the way I should think they should play. And then hopefully my school goes a bit better, and then I hopefully catch a couple of finishes, because I know that this might sound a bit arrogant at for some, but I know that I'm good, but I'm not sure of how to really extract the talent.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to try and do it as best as possible.
All right. That's good. That's good. That's good goals for, you know, the following year. You got to keep it
Yeah.
you know, just keep visualizing it. Visualize success. You ever seen that movie Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes, I have actually.
It's a great movie.
The guy who was homeless, and then he had to take an unpaid internship, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. That's a different one.
Was it?
Yeah, he's talking about
Still Wall Street.
No, he was
But
talking,
I get
about
what you
Will
mean.
Smith.
Oh, you're not Will Smith? What the fuck?
Damn it.
No,
You
not
gotta-
fucking Pursuit
look
of
at Wolf of
Happiness. That's a sad ass movie. He's fucking homeless,
no,
living in
Wolf of Wall Street.
Wait. Let me look here.
Wolf of Wall Street with fucking.
No, I have seen
Oh
it.
my god,
No,
come
I have-
on.
Yes.
Well, that's Leonardo DiCaprio, man.
Yeah, Leo, and now what's his name? Fucking Zach, you say his quote all the time. All right. What's his fucking name?
All right.
No, what's his fucking name? God damn it.
Kill, Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey. He does that.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's the guy who's also
Just-
like. There's also one guy in Wolf of Wall Street who's in Superbad as well.
Yeah, that's
Oh
Jonah
yeah,
Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah. He's like, I
That whole
fucking.
movie is-
If
that's
you
my
show
favorite
me a
movie of
check
all
for
time.
$10,000, I quit my job right
I
now.
quit my job right now. I quit my job right now.
Oh shit.
The heck.
Wow.
Oh my god.
But yeah, but those are the goals I want to set. I'm not gonna say like I'm gonna win 4 regionals because that's only people like Jimmy who does that, and I'm not.
But he just
But
did it.
but
Sure.
but honestly,
Sure.
like we talked about last time as well with the cheating in Pokemon. I also think we should touch that. So back when we recorded for Daytona,
Yeah.
where you, Kevin, you fucked up.
People don't know about that.
Uh,
All right, we never posted it. People don't know I fucked up because you're just telling them now. Thanks.
Now the world know.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's fine.
I am the light of truth.
The last.
But on the flip side, like I think that the posts, if people think that people have done this and this, it's okay to post. But I think in Eric's case, it was not good enough to post with the evidence he lacked. We've seen posts like Igor's, which was fair enough because he did get bribed. It looks like from the evidence we've seen, and he probably posted more evidence to Pokemon. But I also think that Pokemon has gone too toxic on that point, where the players in the tournament has to catch it themselves, not fall into any traps possible, and then the judges being more aware of certain players. I'm not saying which players that the judges should be aware of. They would know themselves. But I think that the judges should be aware of certain players who are more able to do stuff and who probably will do stuff to give them an advantage.
Got you.
You're telling me you don't have some names you want to leak out there? Or?
No, don't start more
You
of this.
gotta
Don't
keep
start
that-
more of
you
this.
gotta
Come
keep
on,
that-
don't be an instigator.
asking.
Don't be an instigator. Don't start this.
Numero-
Don't start more of this pokey
Numero
drama.
uno. I heard about that guy Jesper Eriksen. He treats you like a fucking bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. I heard that too. I heard that too. I heard this other
He
guy.
stacks so much, and he's like super scummy on the internet, and then he's like going to tournaments, doing all bad all the time. But
Yeah, he plays.
but
everybody else
to be real on the others, like I'm not gonna post any names because I don't even have a certain amount of players. But I am, when I play against the better players, I'm more aware of what's going on
Okay.
than when I'm perhaps playing against a more chill player, more relaxed, or more casual player in like round 1, 2, 3.
Right.
I think it's like that for many people because I think if you're an asshole to casual players, they notice. But if you're quiet against a competitive player, let's say I'm playing against Jimmy or I'm playing against Philip. In the case I'm playing against Philip, I'm not cutting my teammates' decks because it's what I show a sign of like I trust them. I think they're randomizing decks and it's more. It takes less time to not cut their deck.
Right.
I just don't cut my teammates' deck when I play against them. Maybe I do. I haven't noticed if they did against me or not actually. But when play against people like Jimmy or Soul, I'm gonna try and I always do my best to make my opponents get a run for their money, and then hopefully in the matchups that I have against, let's say I've played against Jimmy for example multiple times in tournaments. I'm 0-1-1 against him where I should have been 1-1. Due to time, he got saved by the clock in Toronto last year. I had him. I really had him. But then, I just try to do my best against the most competitive players while being silent. But when I'm playing against a more casual player, and they want to interact more and want to have more fun, I'm always up to that. I always want to not be the silent competitive asshole. I don't ever want to be that. And I think if you ask my opponents that are more casual when they play, they always like Jesper. He's funny while playing, and then we're having a lot of fun. I had an opponent where he played Blacephalon against me in Bristol, where it was 2-2, and then I made this sick Family Guy joke, and he was like laughing the shit out, and the judge just went. I think it was like the joke with we did a B string count, but in like the Family Guy where the Dracula goes 1 nipple, ha ha ha, 2 nipple,
Yeah.
and then I did it with the B strings right, and the judge just went by, and she was like, holy fuck. She had to stop and just laugh
Yeah,
at me.
but no, you want that camaraderie in the game, you know? Like it's
you want the camaraderie and not the less toxicity or whatever you call it. Like toxicity. You wanted stuff to be less toxic, more fun, and if I don't have fun at the tournament, I don't feel that the tournament's being well run either. But we have it could be discussion for another day, but there's also a plan I have to make tournaments across the world better. I think US is doing a lot of good stuff at regionals, and I think all the stuff that's being done at US regionals should be transferred over to Pacific, East regionals, Australian regionals, and of course European regionals, to make them have a better standard and to make them better tournaments overall.
Well, let's hope they fucking hear what we got to say, and
they're probably not, because we said it.
We said it, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
You're right. Eventually,
Maybe they'll get the fucking clue.
I think Pokemon has to step in and.
They have to Iron Curtain and be like, Russia, go on.
Oh shit!
You don't play Pokemon. Pokemon plays you.
Oh my fucking god! All right, well, let's wrap it up. So we do something. You already know. We do something every show. We want you to pick the 3 top world's contenders, your 3 favorite at least. We're gonna do a point system. The lowest score wins. So say you pick somebody and they get first, that's 1 point. Say you pick somebody and they get 500th. That's 500 points. That's obviously not what you want. You want the lowest score possible.
So that means that if I pick a day 1 player, I'm fucked.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. What? No confidence in yourself.
You gotta make it through first.
Yeah. It's not gonna. You don't have. I understand that you don't have the luxury of standing on the sidelines with your fucking binoculars scoping on these other players. But
I'm gonna. Well.
I think you're gonna be.
You saw me doing that. You saw me doing it.
I did do that shit. Oh my god. Yeah, I saw his ass. I'm like, are you joking? He's like, no, I'm really fucking scoping him out. I'm like, oh my god, it didn't help. How'd that day go? Yeah, 0-3-1. Yeah, 0-3-1 drop. Oh my god. Anyway, that's beside the point. That's beside the point. So,
oh man,
if you win, if you get the 3 best world contenders, we got this awesome giveaway we're doing right now for everybody that's going on the podcast. It's going to be a signed portrait of Chum-Li, and here it is right there.
Yes, I want it. Oh my god.
That's it right there.
Hand painted.
Canvas, hand painted, hand drawn, and then painted portrait of our boy Austin Russell, aka Chum-Li.
Okay, so how many people are on the show before Worlds?
Right now,
we got like 5 or 6. We got like 5 or 6. Yeah.
So how many got? How many do you have in total?
It's gonna be like 12 to 16.
Yeah. It'll probably be 12 to 16 before Worlds. Yeah. So you got you have a limited pool.
Azul is my number 1 pick. I feel that boy needs. I really like him, and he's gonna do good.
Okay.
He's a lot like me actually. When you compare, I probably don't know if he's gonna like what I'm saying about that, but I think he's a lot like me.
A lot like you.
Yeah, but he's more. Well, whenever he does post online, he's more popular because he's doing better than me. But I think he's a lot like me by like playing.
Well, we're gonna try and have him on the show, so we'll see what he says about that.
Yeah. But yeah, Azul is my first pick. The dude is nice. I really like him, and oh my god.
You got 2 more.
God, I feel Robin's gonna make another top 8 run, but not. He's probably gonna get a heartbroken top 8. Like
because he doesn't have fucking town map to win with Zoro.
I swear, Town Map was the best card.
Oh my god, dude, that shit's done. I know. I watched him play it. I'm like, Yo, he's a fucking genius. Next level shit.
Dude, we played that at EYC. I even played it with Galissa Garbador. I was like, I played Celesteela for GX, and I played also like a GX of Celesteela did 180, and then you flip your prizes.
Yeah.
I played that and Town Map.
Oh my god. Anyway. All right. So you got Azul and you got Robin. Who else?
Shintaro didn't respond to my message. I sent him earlier. Fuck.
Shintaro, sorry, you're not gonna get picked. You didn't respond.
Oh, but I'm not sure if I think any Japanese player is gonna win this season. And I'm not if I call out some weird Japanese name, it's just gonna win Worlds. I'm just gonna be a commentator for life. But honestly, I'm not sure of what the third pick, because I feel there's a pool of players like Jimmy and Caleb who have had so much success this season that I think their luck's gonna run out at some point.
Okay.
And I think World's gonna be the tournament where their luck run out.
Okay.
Like, I'm not trying to be a bad person here, but I'm just trying to be realistic that you can't do well forever in a card game because you're gonna get hit. What we got? Like, honestly, I don't believe in the Europeans this season a lot.
Oh shit.
We've had
Still picks Robin. I don't believe in the Europeans. Still picks Robin.
No, but Robin doesn't count a European. He's a fucking alien, man. He's such a beast.
Oh my god.
And I'm actually making my way to Pokemon leaderboards right now, but like, it like, if you look at my spot here, I'm like, if I pick myself,
You can pick
and then I
yourself.
don't
Why
date
the
two-
fuck not?
Yeah, but I want the portrait.
Oh, you want the point out?
Honestly.
That's the big thing. Yeah, and it's gonna be signed by Chum, so you know it's official.
I can get my tits signed by Chum,
that's true.
honestly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but you won't have the portrait if you fuck up.
He doesn't like you anymore. After what?
Yeah, but I only Gustavo as the third.
Gustavo? All right.
Gustavo, yeah. He's from the same generation of players that I am.
Okay.
It's his fourth season of Masters. He's from 2000 and 2001. I really like Gustavo whenever he played. There's been a lot of stories about him, but I really like him as a person. He's been really nice, and his success this season is well deserved. And then he's a great guy.
You are not
really
the
great
only
guy.
person to pick Gustavo Wada.
Can you spoil who else
Well, if
picked
you would have
him?
watched last week's episode, you would have fucking known, Jesper. Yeah, it was Russell. It was Russell Lepar, yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the same ones as you, so you're okay. So far, we don't have anybody picking the same people. Yeah, so.
Oh, if that does happen, I don't know what we do.
Yeah.
Like how can people been picking a lineup as strong as Robin Azul Gustavo? You have 3 different continents.
Yeah.
Three
But you
different-
have
like,
to
three
have
different
all
playing
3
styles.
of them do well. Like if all 3 of them are in top 8, then I say you're pretty set. You know, but even still, there's a chance for a tie. So I don't know. We're gonna come out with the like if we have a tie, we'll decide.
Tiebreaker is gonna be
we'll
Conquest
decide-
match on PG Joe.
Yeah. Conquest matchup PTCGO. Yeah,
Probably
I don't know about that. Well, we'll figure
Like
it out. We'll get
beer
back.
chugging.
Oh, beer. Come on. No, we don't need that shit. Some real talent.
Yeah. So a tie would be whoever drinks a beer the fastest.
You better
There
start
we go. I
chugging,
like
boy.
that
You
one.
better start chugging.
I can start now to
Yeah.
finish the
So
episode.
yeah,
man.
we've been drinking all episode.
All right. All right. So if you have any shout outs or you want
Limitless
three.
TCG, of course. Visit our website. My article should be up by the time this one goes up, or soon from the time we're recording on the 9th of June. And shout out to everyone who supported me, my whole team. Check out my Facebook page, Jesper K. Eriksen. Check out my Twitter at Jesper K. Eriksen, and please give me a PM if you feel in the need of coaching and you want someone who is a bit more personal and who wants to take you to the next level and be a better player. I know I don't have the accomplishments for this season, but it doesn't matter whenever you're actually good at teaching stuff to others.
Those who can't do teach, right?
That's what I do.
All right.
Fuck you, man.
I'm just playing with you, brother. Well, thanks again for fucking being on the show.
Thanks for coming on, man.
We love having you here.
Thanks a lot, man,
But
for
now
having
we're
me.
gonna scoop it up.
Thank you.